Yo,
Hey, what's up, man?
good to see you, bro.
Good to see you.
I'm digging your shirt.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Good. I got done making a video this morning and just been waiting to hang out with you guys. So,
Cool, cool. Yeah, I still got to go check out the video. We might be covering some similar stuff as far as solo and core, but it seems like that's your vibe. That's what you've been diving into lately. Solo, core, and Cosmos, yeah?
yeah, well, Solo is an extension of the XRP ledger. And you guys know me, that's my roots. That's what really got me balls deep into the whole space is the XRP ledger. So, I love XRP, and Solo is, a customized version, like a new DeFi project on the XRP ledger. Corium is exposure to Cosmos, IBC. I'm a big fan of Cosmos, the root of it, Atom, ATOM. But whether you own Atom or don't own Atom, you're exposed to the Cosmos with Corium. So for holding last December, if you held XRP, you got Solo tokens for free airdrop. It wasn't that much, but they gave you an opportunity to, for your XRP holdings, you got free Solo. For your Solo all this year, you get free Corium. So every single month, the Solo holders get Corium airdropped on a consistent basis. And then in 2023, a whole new airdrop plan begins for the Corium. We get more Corium, and that lasts for 12 to 36 months. So I nicknamed those three the Holy Trinity because you start with XRP, then you get Solo, and if you have diamond hands, you're patient. You're just going to watch your abundance just pile on top of each other. It's going to keep growing and growing. I think my brother checked his wallet the other day. It was like, and he hasn't invested since like the beginning of this year. He's like, oh my gosh, I have $2,000 of Corium in my wallet that I got for free. And that gave him a lot of confidence to keep investing into the Trinity. And I went on and on, but that's some of the things I've been talking about a lot.
Yeah, man. So yeah, let me introduce you real quick for the people on my channel. I've told the people here in the coaching group that we're in the call right now with, they're familiar with you. But when this gets posted on YouTube, for anyone that hasn't seen Zach's channel yet, Zach has a channel called Zen God, and he is a super proficient expert in crypto space. And you've probably seen his stuff because if you've been following me, we've done several videos together before. And yeah, so lately, the Holy Trinity, the XRP, Solo, and Core has really been what you've been diving into. And you've taught me a lot about that. You've taught so many people about this stuff. You're really like one of the leading voices, I think, in this space for especially Solo and Core, and getting the word out there. And there hasn't been a ton of like official marketing around this stuff, so it really is like we're in really early with these opportunities. So do you want to share a little more about like what you think Solo in particular? Let's start with Solo, then we can move into Core, and then how that connects to Cosmos and the IBC and the smart contract system that they run on. So starting with Solo, where do you see Solo going in the long term, and how do you see that interacting with the XRP ledger and even with Ripple?
Yeah, that's an awesome thing to say. One of the first things we have to bring out is that XRP and Solo are not competing in any way. Actually, they did a block party together. So Solo and Ripple, they're actually friends. They do block parties. They're going to go to an NFT conference in LA, July 29th to the 30th. So if you're in LA, you can actually go hang out with the Ripple team and Sologenic team. If you watch some of my first videos, you'll see my deep dives basically going into the Sologenic team. And if you really pay attention to the Sologenic team, they have photos all the way back 2018 with Reza, who's the technical lead. They were getting invited to parties in New York City for Ripple, even the X-Spring conference. So everything that Sologenic is looking to do is to enhance the utility of XRP, of the whole ledger, to bring mainstream adoption to the ledger. So Sologenic is a decentralized exchange, but there's lots of decentralized exchanges. XRP ledger has a native DEX built inside of it, but they're making a premium, really state-of-the-art DEX for the average consumer. So if we look at, other DEXs out there, we could look at Uniswap on Ethereum and see what that's doing. And, if Sologenic ever reaches Uniswap's market cap, decentralized exchange on Ethereum, you're looking at a high value Solo token. But Solo, what's unique about the Solo token is there's lots of utility. So there's two main utilities that makes it unique is the fact that you could take your Solo tokens, burn it, and issue securities, stocks, bonds, commodities, artwork, NFTs, anything that could be tokenized. You exchange your Solo tokens, they're burnt forever, which is lowering the supply of Solo. So there's only 400 million Solo that will ever exist. I believe 500,000 has already been burnt just from beta testing NFTs. NFTs are only in a beta stage with the XRP ledger right now. There's a new feature that Ripple keeps hyping up, XLS20, which is really, you're going to see tons and tons of basically creators, developers, artists, influencers, including people probably like BitBoy, who aren't talking about Sologenic at all right now, will be listing their NFTs on Sologenic, which is going to help the XRP ledger, because the more tokenized assets we have, the more governments, banks start tokenizing their securities, commodities onto the XRP ledger, all of a sudden that brings so much more value to XRP being that neutral bridge currency between all these assets. And we're even talking derivatives. If you pull up Sologenic derivatives, you'll see they highlight derivatives and they call it a derivatives protocol in some articles. If you look at the derivatives market, you're talking about quadrillions of dollars, trillions of dollars tokenized onto the XRP ledger. All these assets are issued, right? So they're issued by, a person. A CBDC is an issued asset. And the interesting thing about this is Sologenic has made it so easy. Anybody that has no tech experience, has no blockchain experience, could go and basically tokenize their, you could create an NFT project. We got lots of people, holistic people making NFT utility projects, but you could do that so easy, couple clicks with their turnkey system. So that is the value that Sologenic is bringing, is tokenizing non-blockchain assets to the XRP ledger. And the more of these assets we tokenize, I personally believe the closer we're going to get to XRP becoming a new reserve currency. Because like XRP will be the main currency of this whole ledger, with even cars. You're talking about all these sports cars, fancy cars, tokenized on the XRP ledger. We've seen the article about Michael Jordan tokenizing NFTs. Another big value that Sologenic has is creating a universal marketplace. So there will be other NFT exchanges. There'll be probably an exchange for gold and silver, but Sologenic, look at the name Solo, the one, will be a place where all these different assets could be traded on the state-of-the-art XRPL DEX. And yeah, so that's some of the key points for Solo. Another key point for Solo is there's still 6 months left in the airdrop plan. So this year it's been pretty bearish. It's been kind of a roller coaster. We were expecting there to be more bullish news this year, but the market's been pretty flat, or it's been on a downtrend for a lot of assets. Another cool thing about Solo is we could kind of enjoy the bear market more. The fact that whether the market's going up, down, sideways, we have our passive income coming each and every month. And I think that's a huge blessing for us, the holders. Like, yeah, there's all these benefits for banks and all these big people to use Sologenic to tokenize their assets. What I want to explain too in this video is it's like these tokenized assets are almost like forks of XRP. So a lot of you guys are probably experts of XRP. But imagine if you could tokenize, the US dollar, or tokenize a derivative and have all the superpowers of XRP, the speed, the finality, the cyber attack proof. You don't have to worry about cyber attacks. All those benefits, the sending an asset across borders in 3 seconds, all those benefits will be included in these issued assets, or like carbon copies of XRP. But here's the thing that you have to understand is these issued assets more than likely will have freezing on it. So there'll be like on your CBDC or on your issued security, there'll probably be like a freeze thing. It's not going to behave like a cryptocurrency or a blockchain where the government could actually go and freeze your assets if you don't behave a certain way. So knowing that these people are going to issue CBDCs and issue all these assets onto the XRP ledger, including cars, and there'll be freezes on it, brings even more value to XRP tokens like Solo, because those are the neutral, censor resistant. They can't be frozen, and they will protect people like us in the future from tyranny. That's also important to note. But I just threw a lot at you. Any questions, or Jayse, you want to send me a new direction?
Yeah, no, I love all that. Let me think. Going back a little bit, you talked about how they're not competing, right? Like they're actually like working with each other, like they're going to events together, and Ripple's actually funding Sologenic, right?
Yeah. So Sologenic was one of the largest grant receivers from Ripple.
Nice, nice. So do you think, as far as the NFT space and XLS 20, and the potential of NFTs, or not the potential, but the reality of NFTs coming directly to the XRPL, how do you think like the Sologenic NFT marketplace will pair with NFTs coming natively to XRP?
Well, that's a great question. There needs to be a marketplace, like an OpenSeas, or like when the internet first came, there was eBay.
Yeah.
So eBay was a big one that everybody would go on and sell their stuff. But then you had that third party that was collecting all the fees and made it so people didn't like to use eBay.
Mm-hmm.
So there always needs to be a marketplace. And that's what basically Sologenic is positioning themselves. It's like, cool, yeah, you got a NFT car from, Ferrari. But when you want to go sell it, where are you going to go sell it? The Sologenic marketplace, that's where all the eyes is. That's where all the traffic's going to be. And the marketplace, yeah, like I said, there's going to be all these different people minting their NFTs on the XRP ledger. Some will create their own mechanisms. Some will use the Sologenic mechanisms. But at the end of the day, they'll all be interoperable. And Sologenic will not be the only marketplace. There will be a few other marketplaces. But ultimately, it seems like Sologenic is the chosen one. It's been working alongside with Ripple. On the Corium project, they have some advisors that are important to note. Michael Zakowski and Carl Hua. Michael Zakowski was hand selected to basically lead Ripple X for years and years, and he resigned right before Corium was announced, coincidentally. And Michael Zakowski, basically, I found some articles that he was in charge of exactly this, like tokenizing assets, derivatives, and more. So it's a big secret project. It's not supposed to be advertised that much, in my opinion. But Sologenic will, like I said, enhance and make, instead of having all these all these different marketplaces, there'll be one hub for all the XLS 20 assets, and they'll have all types of features like tabs to showcase the premier ones, and it's going to be really legit. It's already kind of happening with the NFTs right now on a small scale.
Yeah, I agree. And I really like how the team is really focusing on building out the product like really, really well before mass marketing starts becoming more of a priority. I think that's important because there's a lot of projects out there that spend a ton on marketing before they actually have a solid product down, right? And then that can result in a ton of different issues down the line, expectations wise. But I feel like with Solo and Core, we're about to get into, they've been really focusing on building the product and generating the community kind of as the marketing, but they haven't really done too much public marketing. So at the point when that comes, if and when that comes, maybe they won't even need to market because it'll be so institutionally connected to XRP and the hype behind that marketing might not even need to be a priority. But if it is, then it's really gonna, push it even more. So before we go into Core,
Can I piggyback on something you just said?
Yeah, go for it.
So you're 100% exactly correct. Some of the steps that they're going to do before you see the mainstream adoption, we're early innovators, early adopters of this tech. So before advertising to the masses, I believe the first thing they want to do is get on all the major exchanges. So Binance is coming. It might get delayed at this video, but it's nothing to do with Sologenic. It has everything to do with the devs not being on time with integrating Solo into Binance.
The Binance devs, right?
Yeah, so there's language, they're Chinese devs. It's really complicated process. It's taking longer than expected. So, if you're reconstructing a home and they tell you it's going to be done a certain time, and the guy that's putting up the wood doesn't get done in time, it's out of your hands. It's out of their hands. So I believe all the exchange listings first, and then they're adding all types of new features. Like, a lot of people think it's difficult to go to BitTrue and go to all these exchanges to get XRP, right? So imagine if we could buy crypto with just a debit card, like we're purchasing anything that you would purchase on the internet. So that's one step they're adding. That's another feature. And then also domains. So imagine if it was like Jayse at sologenic.com, I could send you crypto. I could send you XRP. I could send you anything interoperable, or even an NFT. Let's say I mint an NFT and I could just send it Jayse at cosmicorigins.com or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all like little tiny things that we don't really think about because we're like deep into crypto. But for the mainstream person to buy an NFT, you tell them, give me your wallet address, they go blank.
Yeah.
But
it's
if
way
we can make
easier.
it as easy as using Cash App, as easy as using Venmo, then it's going to be a good experience, because the first impression is really important. So like, if someone goes on the Sologenic Dex right now and it's marketed at the Super Bowl, like to all the masses in the world, and they go on and have a bad first experience, more than likely they're not going to come back. So this is a time where it's really only the trailblazers that are getting involved, the trendsetters who are okay. But once, we have more, like you're saying, more of that ease for the mainstream, then it's going to go mainstream and they're going to pump our bags for us.
Yep.
Go ahead with the next question.
So yeah, building off that, and you talked about, OpenSea. I don't know if you actually referenced OpenSea, but as far as like taking over these bigger NFT marketplaces, and OpenSea is obviously like, the biggest one out there. I saw yesterday, they just had another breach of data, where like all their user data was leaked. So it's just one thing after another with OpenSea that is, proving to the masses and to especially the Ethereum investors, that, there needs to be an alternative, and preferably a decentralized alternative like Sologenic and the DEX and the NFT marketplace. So I see that becoming a thing too. And especially if, people like BitBoy, big influencers who are already anti OpenSea, if they start supporting or even just talking about Sologenic, it's gonna blow up fast.
His crew, some of his friends already have NFTs on Sologenic. He isn't marketing it yet because they're waiting for XLS20, because that allows royalties for the creator, and royalties will be paying out a lot. So
that's going to be big. There's
a lot of people that are incentivized to keep this stuff secret at the moment. So yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so last thing about this before we move on to Corium, just as far as like investment opportunity and price, clearly we're in a severe downturn in the markets right now. So with that, there's intense opportunity, even just as far as to return to previous all-time highs. So Sologenic, it was like a $7 previous all-time high that we spiked at a couple months ago, right?
Yeah. So the one thing that was interesting about that is that at that time there was only 200 million Solo tokens in circulation. Now there's 400 million in circulation. So it is going to be more difficult to hit that all-time high again. But the fact that the tier ones are coming, Binance volume will help a lot. We didn't have that before. And then more utility. So utility is actually happening. People are using Solo to mint NFTs at the moment. So we have utility, we have tier one exchanges, and we also have the incentivization to hodl for Corium.
Right.
If Corium becomes more known, it becomes more popular, the value goes up, all of a sudden, it's more valuable to hold your Solo tokens.
Hmm.
In the short term, I easily see Solo getting back to $1 to $3, when the license for tokenizing assets come, the MFID, and they could tokenize securities, stocks, bonds. They're talking about tokenizing 40,000 different assets onto Sologenic. You got to
Wow.
think that's a lot of Solo tokens being burnt. That's going to lower the supply of Solo, basically also helping raise the value of Solo. So, long term, we could easily see triple digit Solo. I did a comparison. If Sologenic in the middle of a bear market reaches Doge's market cap, Sologenic, I believe, have way more use case than Doge. We would be at $25 per Solo, and that's a modest because all the market caps in crypto have shrunk in this bear market. Like that means, Doge in the height of the bear market and the height of the bull market was probably about double the market cap it is now, which means Sologenic would be about $50 per token. And that's very modest, realistic. Some people say the value of DEX, being able to trade assets without a middleman, is actually more valuable than peer-to-peer cash. So, Sologenic could eventually climb to, top 10, top in the whole entire coin market cap. And if we get to, Bitcoin's numbers, you're looking at 1,000 4-digit Solo token. So I think that depending on how long your time horizon is, I think that's actually doable. But short term, let's just get $1 first. Let's hit $2 first. But knowing long term, this thing could go $50, triple digits, 4 digits, and you're getting in at 25 cents. Are you serious? Because we're early. The protocol is, I think, like 2 years old. We're super early. There's a lot of FUD, a lot of misinformation. Kind of reminds me of the time when I was buying XRP at 20 cents years back, and everybody acted like you were like, they spread so much FUD about you if you buy XRP back then. Same thing about Solo. So much FUD has given us an opportunity. 25 cent Solo, historically, it's always above $1. So,
that's an
let's
easy
get back to
$4x.
$1. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big.
Yeah, it's just $1 would be an easy 4x from 25 cents right now. And then, if we get to like $50, like you're saying with Doge's market cap, that's a 200x easy from where we're at right now.
4x is good enough for me. 25 cents to $1, that's good enough for me. I'm happy.
Yeah. Plus we're getting the Corium reward airdrops on top of that, which let's move into that. So Corium, can you explain a little bit about Corium and the developers behind it, how they relate to Solo, and what Corium's mission is in the space?
Yeah, so Corium is part of Cosmos. They're building on Cosmos tech. So Cosmos allows a few features that are purposely left out of the XRP ledger, so XRP can remain blazing fast. We want XRP to be so fast. And so there's certain features that are left out of XRP that Cosmos has, like it has governance. So this is the most important thing. Well, let me go over key features: governance, staking, and then interoperability, the IBC between different chains that are part of this whole system. And then also with Corium, not all Cosmos, but with Corium, smart contracts, multi-chain smart contracts. So what's important about the fact that Corium is proof of stake is, let's say there'll be yield generating opportunities. There'll be yield generating opportunities for the stakers like us. The governance is what I'm really excited about. So this is 3rd generation. So at the moment, let's say that me and you, all of us in this group, there's 7 of us, are basically having a discussion, and we're like, you know what? If Corium did this to the blockchain, it would revolutionize, XYZ. Or I don't like the way they're doing this. This is how it should be done. Your Corium will actually give you the power to put up a proposal on the chain, and basically, propose something to the entire community of stakers. That could be a software upgrade. That could be a million different things. But also, 1 Corium equals 1 vote. So your core basically serves as a mechanism to have voting power. So you as the delegator staking your Corium will be able to, vote and basically guide the future direction of this entire blockchain. So you're going to be actually guiding the direction of building this entire new blockchain. One of the first proposals we'll vote on is how long we want to have the airdrop starting in 2023. So there's going to be a big airdrop that starts, and we will vote whether we want to have that airdrop in 12 months or 36 months. That's the kind of superpowers that Corium will give people, and that's why it's part of the Holy Trinity. It's giving people different powers in this new financial system that weren't possible before this tech. So this could be done for all types of things. Imagine when you create your own projects. Remember when we created KaneCoin and all these projects?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if there was the DAO utility to it where we could put a proposal, and for the concert, we always talked about having a big music event, and people would actually be able to vote on who the performer would be at the concert. And the community would be able to see everything on chain, that it's legit. Nobody, cheated the voting. Voting, I believe, is going to be huge. Everybody wants to have their voice heard. And nobody feels like their voice is heard right now. Nobody feels like their voice is heard. People have their thoughts about 2020 election. Well, this technology solves that. So you have on-chain voting that's transparent, honest, and this voting is going to be, I think it's going to be one of the most important things to society. This is all based on all Cosmos chains has this part of it.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick before you dive into Cosmos, so I want to kind of clarify the picture of the Holy Trinity. So like you have XRP, which, like you're saying, is being left to kind of being the dedicated payment system, and like that's its main purpose. So we don't want to overload the XRPL itself with like all this other DeFi and voting stuff, because we want to keep it basically like the Ferrari and just have it do that job and do what it's optimized to do, right? And then Solo brings in these extra aspects of decentralized marketplaces for NFTs, decentralized DEX that you can interact with. So expanding, but not taking away from XRP, but adding on. And Solo is built on the XRPL, right? And then you have Corium, which is from the same creators as Solo. And this is, like you're saying, bringing in even more that we don't want to overload the other two with. So it's kind of like specializing in the Holy Trinity so that each has a specialized role to play with what they're focused on and good at. So then Core is bringing in the DeFi, the governance, and the staking, which Solo doesn't have built into it, right? There's not going to be any DeFi stuff built into Solo, or do you think that could be a possibility in the future?
So Solo will do what XRPL is like made best for. So Corium is also basically connecting XRP Ledger to something so much more.
Mm-hmm.
So DLTs need interoperability with other DLTs. You guys know this. I know you're a fan of SHX. You probably have Lobster.
Mm-hmm.
Lobster and XRPL and XRP wallet is they don't interoperate. So Corium is really its name. It's like the core infrastructure that will allow all these DLTs and all these different chains, even Ethereum, Bitcoin, all interoperate in the Cosmos. Mm-hmm. They call XLM intergalactic currency, XRP intergalactic currency. Where is the intergalactic? It's in the Cosmos. So everything is going to be merging to the IBC. It's like the new internet. And XRPL will be able to sync to it for DeFi. So what is DeFi? Remember the Mr. Pool post? We could go deep on this channel about follow the green colors.
Dude, I woke up thinking about that today. It was so crazy. It was like in my head when I woke up.
But also look at that post. It says the liquidity pools will open.
Mm-hmm.
And it mentions XRP, it mentions XDC. So why hasn't XRP, flipped the switch yet? Why hasn't there been huge value for XRP? We see articles about people testing billions of dollars of XRP, and we don't really see the value go that much up with XRP. So I have a new theory that when the liquidity pools turn on with Corium, that then we'll see big appreciation for XRP. So there are liquidity pools open at the moment, but they aren't interoperable, multi-chain, and really secure. So Cosmos is working on something called interchain security. It's not out yet. It's coming. And that's going to provide ultimate security for these DeFi protocols. You hear all the time, all these DeFi protocols are getting hacked. There's not that much security on the EVM. Basically, with Corium, there'll be liquidity pools, but they'll be extra secure, I believe, with interchain security. But then everyone that's been hodling XRP, XLM, all these DLT coins will be able to basically put it into Corium, liquidity pool, let's say XRP USDC or XRP Solo or XRP Tesla stock. You put into a liquidity pool that's backed up by the best security in the industry. And then you get paid for basically being a liquidity provider. So I have a theory that there'll be new, basically class of people called liquidity providers, which will be like the new Wall Street banks. When you walk around, people are like, oh, wow, that's a liquidity provider. This guy's a big time deal. And then all of a sudden people will be locking up shitloads of, excuse my language, tons and tons of XRP, tons of these projects mixed with these pairs. And that's just, you're going to see the value go up and up because all these banks are going to want to be liquidity providers. That's the new thing. And that's what reminded me from that Mr. Pool post. So that's like one example of the DeFi capabilities that Cosmos will bring to the XRP ledger, and while being secure, while having interchain security there to add all this extra security so you don't get hacked while you're providing liquidity. That's one use case. That's going to bring a lot of value to XRP. Also, we talk about the yield generating stuff, staking derivatives, things like that. That will also be from the Cosmos side of things. So I was saying, this will help you guys learn. There's two protocols, SHX, Jayse is a big fan of that, is actually part of ILP. There's many others. So the Interledger protocol, you guys have probably already heard. Research that. That's all part of this, future banking system. The ILP that's connected to XRP, Stellar, SHX. And then we have the IBC, which is connected to Cosmos, the Internet of Blockchains Communications Protocol, which is going to be baked into Corium. Who uses this? Crypto.com, Binance, many other top 100 coins. Luna used this. They went bust, but it was nothing wrong with the protocol. It was everything wrong with the tokenomics.
Right.
So there's tons and tons of chains. Actually, Cosmos is the #1 framework for building blockchains, and all that has the IBC. So if you want to be part of the Cosmos economy, if you want to be a part of this whole entire ecosystem, I should send you a picture to put up so they could see a demonstration.
For sure.
You got to have the IBC standard. So I believe that, researching your time and energy into the IBC and the ILP is all you need to do to set yourself free. So it goes IBC plus ILP is all I needed. All right, what is it?
All I need to be free, right?
ILP, all I need to be free. IBC plus ILP, all I need to be free. So
it's a good mantra.
plus ILP is all I need to be free. So if all we do is spend our time researching the ILP and the IBC, I promise you, you will not miss anything. You'll be right on target, and you'll be positioning yourself for this new financial system. So, Jayse, do you have any other questions?
So you see Core as kind of being the bridge between the ILP and the IBC in a way, right?
Well, if you look at Cosmos, there's many other chains that already have the ILP integrating into it. There's one called Akash. There's one called Kava. So there's many chains that are actively doing it, and Corium will do it as well. Basically have the ILP integrated into its system with the IBC, and that's unlimited, infinite interoperability. And that creates that seamless system that everybody keeps talking about. So, man, I'm so excited. So the IBC plus ILP is all you need to be free and keep yourself busy.
I love that.
Did you have any other? I want to bring one more thing up about Cosmos whenever you're ready for that. But
yeah, I have a few questions, but go ahead. Start with that.
If you've been familiar with my channel, you got to kind of watch me on a frequent basis because I bring up just so many. I don't go in like sequences. I have just things that I want to bring up. So one of the awesome things about, researching the Cosmos right now, it couldn't be a better time to get involved because everything's super cheap. A lot of the assets have already dropped 80 to 90%. So, I started talking about it in December of 2020, basically January of 2022, and all the prices were way higher. But I was so infatuated with the technology, I want to have my mind here. So all the projects on Cosmos are very cheap. So let's start with Atom. If you stake about 25 Atom, you're considered a participator of the whole community. Cosmos is very community and participation based. So if you have at least 25, when people use that framework that I mentioned, Cosmos, to build, they're building off a Cosmos framework, a way to, it's kind of like we could think of Costco. You go to Costco and there's people with free samples. And these stands with free samples and they're handing out, free samples. You try a sample, you love it. All of a sudden you're a Pizza Pocket fan or whatever the heck it is. You're a it's called Hot Pocket fan. All of a sudden you're a Hot Pocket fan and you're buying Hot Pocket and you're eating it every morning, right? Like that's how they advertise.
Yeah.
So on Cosmos, they have airdrops. A lot of times they're one for one. Sometimes they're different, but basically as a staker, you qualify for airdrops. So basically when people build off the technology, you could be airdropped basically tokens for free. So that's one passive income opportunity. For the people that really want to learn blockchain and have this part, I mean, you guys are all dedicating time to be at this workshop with Jayse. So I'm sure you're one of them. There's also things called incentivized test nets. So for example, there's a project called Umi, whose ties to Coinbase, ties to FTX, all these big people. And basically you're allowed to test their beta version and make sure everything runs smooth. And they'll pay you for free. Like last time my website members got between $300 to $700 airdrop to them from Umi just from learning their platform before it went live. And this is awesome because it gives somebody a chance that has nothing. So if you have nothing, this is the way that by participating in the Cosmos, you get rewarded. So you get rewarded. You could have nothing and build a portfolio up in Cosmos. So it's a great equalizer and a great level playing field opportunity. It's just about, you got to go do the research to find where these incentivized test nets are, when they're happening. There is one I'll reveal to your channel. I only keep this for my members, but it's called Comdex, COMDEX. The token symbol is CMDX.
Okay.
They have a dev net where you could practice on their protocol. So to get involved in Cosmos, you need a Kepler wallet, KEPLR. You could sync that to your phone and a Brave or Google Chrome. So that's the recommended one. Kepler, easiest, so amazing. I'm sure Corium will be integrated into it. But next is there is an academy, Comdex Academy. Comdex Academy will you basically take a couple quiz questions and they'll play you a video teaching you and educating you about DeFi. So if you want to become educated in decentralized finance, you could get educated while getting paid. And this is the way to qualify you for an airdrop. And also by completing this, there's only 2 modules right now. So you're gonna have to keep up to date with all you guys. We'll do it together. But at the end of this whole sequence, you'll get an NFT certification from Comdex. And that's going to be certified that you're trained in DeFi and you're trained in the Comdex protocol. Comdex ain't no joke. They're building on Cosmos based out of India, which reminds me of BRICS. And they're tokenizing commodities, gold, silver, oil, $17 trillion industry. And you can get an NFT certification and get paid Comdex for free just by being an early, basically, participator in the community. So to give you an idea, I have many friends that had 6-figure airdrop bags last year just from doing this type of stuff in Cosmos. And they only add, $10,000, $15,000 invested in Atom, a couple others. So there's all this activity going on, all these opportunities, passive income opportunities. So it's great to start learning there. And that's what I'll say about Cosmos. But,
yeah, that's Yeah, that's amazing. Those are great opportunities. The more I learn about Cosmos, the more bullish I get, and the whole ecosystem, and like, because it's not just, it's not just the core Atom token, right? Like, for people who aren't familiar, Atom is the native token of the Cosmos ecosystem, right? But it's not just Cosmos. It's like you have all these other blockchains, like as you said, the internet of blockchains is kind of how they describe it, where each of these blockchains that's connected, it's not like other blockchains where they're built on top of it. It's not like
They're
how
sovereign.
yeah, it's sovereign. They're totally separate blockchains, but they're interoperable because they're built off of similar types of protocols, right? So
So if
they're
you
not
build off, a
reliant.
good example is you build off Ethereum, you're a victim to the ERC20 gas fees by having your token on ERC20. You might be your own blockchain, but you are ERC20. You have to pay those gas fees no matter what. Whereas Cosmos is all about being sovereign. Big difference.
Yeah, so that's huge. And I've heard with that too, that there would be opportunity just within, say, staking the Atom token, that in the future you might be able to generate multiple tokens that are connected via the IBC just by staking the Atom token. Have you heard that?
Yeah, so we could get esoteric if you really think about it.
Let's
This
do
is
it.
all just ancient knowledge, right? So Adam goes back, that's what scientists says this whole world is created out of atoms. Adam and Eve. The Egyptians believed in a hidden god called Atum. This hidden god was in charge of like creation, all this had magical powers. So just like XRP doesn't want to have all these built-in features because it wants to be very fast. The Cosmos Hub is also behaves that way. So Atom is very minimal. Actually, one more thing I want to bring up about Cosmos. If you're political in nature and you love politics, you will love Cosmos. We have a saying on our I like to come up with catchphrases. So we went from quantum banking, we were learning about quantum banking with DeFi, all this stuff, and we graduated to becoming quantum governors. So, Cosmos is never advertised. It's never marketed to the mass people because it wouldn't create a healthy system, unfortunately. Unfortunately, if everybody knew about Cosmos, everybody was buying it, we would have a lot of people that are sheep governing this whole system. So it's purposely, if you know, you know. So this is your evolvement into becoming a quantum governor, because there was a big proposal that just happened, and there was like Twitter spaces where people are debating, and there's a lot, they take it serious. Like there's actually like debate forums and people like talk about their viewpoints about adding smart contracts to the Cosmos Hub. And actually the original founder came out and like argued and basically swayed the vote to everybody the voting no. So Cosmos is very minimal at the moment. That's why there hasn't been that much value appreciation. A bunch of people wanted to add smart contracts to Atom to bring more value to Atom, so they could get rich. But the whole point of Atom is to secure all the other chains. So let's say one of the big problems with proof of stake is security. But interchain security solves that. So let's say me and Jay start our own blockchain off the internet of blockchains, which we can easy for free, open source. It's all, anybody can make their own blockchain now, and they make it as easy as possible with the Cosmos SDK. This Cosmos SDK you build off of, you have everything built inside to connect to the hub and be interoperable with this Cosmos economy, Cosmos Hub world. But Cosmos Hub, that's all they want to do. They don't want to do smart contracts, all the other stuff. But the more chains that are paying Cosmos Hub, the Atom stakers, for extra security. So let's say crypto.com pays Atom for security. Let's say Binance pays Atom for security, and all of us are staking, using our staking powers, whatever. All those chains will then lease security from Atom, and we'll get paid a percentage based on our stake on all those different chains. So let's say, we're making 10% on 10 different chains. We're making 100% APY staking Atom. So a lot of the true, like Atom's just like XRP, where the price is suppressed because for adoption purposes. So Atom's going to be as cheap at the moment, but it could scale triple digits to Ethereum numbers, I think if Atom reaches Ethereum's market cap, it'll be $990 per Atom.
Wow.
Insane value.
It's what, $8 right now? It's like 8 something.
Yeah, $8. So there's only 250 million Atom out there right now, I believe, and which
it's pretty low.
Why this thing could scale fast, but they purposely, keep it low for this phase right now.
Right.
So part of owning Atom is getting that benefit of, in the future, interchain staking, where you make all the different passive income.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also why IBC plus ILP will set you free. Having knowledge of the ILP, that's going to give you lots of price appreciation. But where is your passive income coming from? Where is your daily income coming from? That, I believe, is best found in the IBC. You eat really good. You got rewards coming in every single day for staking in all Cosmos chains. They all have staking. That's where passive income comes in. With XRP and all the other coins, we have to use that technology to enact all that stuff. So what were we talking about again?
I have a couple questions. So first off, can you clarify what SDK is, what it stands for, and what exactly that is within the Cosmos ecosystem?
It's basically the tools for developers to build their own stuff off, to keep it really easy.
Okay, so
XRP has one called Xspring SDK, and that allows people to build with XRP and the ILP really easily. So every chain has their SDK that wants to have growth.
So the SDK is like the developer kind of tool to build on it. And then the WASM smart contract, that's more of the innate smart contract like protocol that Corium uses, right?
Yeah, so what Cosmos does is, because they don't want to affect the hub, smart contracts bring security risk. So what Cosmos does is they take that responsibility onto other chains like Juno. So Juno is the neutral home of WASM. But many other people could go and build their own WASM chain, right? So that's what Corium is doing. All this is open source. So they're basically looking at Cosmos development, what's already worked, and they're able to basically fork it, use the open source code, put into their protocol, and use a proven system. But Juno, I believe, this is speculation, because there's going to be a lot of chains using WASM, but they're all like controlled by an entity, right? The Sologenic Foundation, Luna uses WASM, a bunch of other people use WASM. Unique thing about Juno was and you guys, if you guys get involved with Atom, you'll be involved in these airdrops too. But I think like some crazy number, like 80% or 90% of Juno was airdropped to stakers, which made it owned by nobody, which made it 100% community based. And there's no VCs, no big hype man behind it. It's just a community project. So it's like Juno, I have speculation. You guys can look in this Cosmos chain, is like the beta test, the canary test for, WASM. They say they're pioneering and developing it. And that project was at like $45. It's now at $2.50. There's only going to be 170 million tokens. There's a halving happening in October that's going to shrink the inflation down in half. So that one also, triple digit coin is brand new. Juno is a baby, and they're doing, WASM stuff, and it's already live. So Corium is not going to go live until January. So if you want to practice on something very similar to Corium, Juno is basically like the queen to the king. I'll say, and you'll get an experience of, wow, you could do a smart contract without these clunky, heavy duty Ethereum fees. And that's part of the Cosmos ecosystem. But they give that responsibility to another chain rather than putting it onto the hub.
Right. Which
that's
is
just some technical stuff, not to bore you with.
That's kind of similar. Would you compare that to like what XRP is kind of doing with Solo, or like, not inferring that they created them, but like Solo to XRP as Juno to Cosmos in a way, or maybe Solo and Corium kind of?
Yeah, exactly. So XRP is designed for what it's designed for, many use cases, and Sologenic is they gave the responsibility for tokenization to what Sologenic is doing, it appears. And Solo token, I think I missed out on earlier, is also going to be great for these liquidity pools for keeping the Sologenic DEX liquid via liquidity pools. So that would be another reason why Solo exists.
Have you heard any plans on or ideas from the team on when those liquidity pools should be going live on Sologenic?
Well, my speculation is there's already stuff going on with Binance Smart Chain, Phantom, Avalanche, where you could go and use your Solo and all these different protocols as liquidity pools.
Right.
My plan is, based on my knowledge of the IBC and the EVM, is I'm personally chilling out and waiting till the Corium liquidity pools open. I think that'll be most safe and secure. I'm a little bit paranoid. I don't want my XRP or any of my assets to be exploited by some hackers. So I'm waiting for the Corium liquidity pools. I'll dump a lot of my coins in there, and that should be happening 2023.
Nice. So okay, yeah, popping back to that real quick. I forgot there was another thing I wanted to ask regarding Solo and Corium. I saw so yesterday we had Corium come out with their white paper and their DevNet and a couple of other things, right? And they have like kind of a new look on their website. They have a little bit new marketing and aesthetic stuff going on, and they're advertising that Corium is going to be, they're saying the one chain for this, right? And they list several things that upon first glance look like it would directly compete with XRP, like cross-border payments, Swift capability, an NFT marketplace like Solo. So for the we've talked about what makes them unique and different, but for the aspects that do overlap, like CBDCs, cross-border payments, or even the NFT marketplaces between Solo and Corium, how do you see those kind of harmonizing and working together moving forward, especially between Solo and Core with their distinct NFT marketplaces and dexes?
They're gonna have, remember that Sologenic is gonna be integrated into Corium, right? So XRP is distributed ledger technology, and Corium is layer 1 blockchain. So different there. They're different, and the validator set for how XRP ledger works is different than Corium. So I could see that the fact that Sologenic is basically inside that technology, it's all working together. So we have to remember what Bob posted, that everything Corium is doing is to enhance basically Sologenic and also the XRP ledger ecosystem, basically making it basically allowing all the things the XRP ledger can't do. Basically Corium is there to pick up the slack. And when they bring up a lot of that tokenization stuff behind the scenes, it will be done on the XRP ledger and Sologenic, because the validator sets are different. So the validator set, there's only 16 validators that are incentivized on Corium, and the validators on XRPL are not incentivized, which are better for tokenized assets, stock market also. So you don't have to worry about a validator attack with all the world's tokenized assets. So basically, we have to look at it as your smartphone. So if everybody grabs their iPhone, and you could see there's the iOS software, right? So the software runs everything. Then you have all these applications. Lots of applications are already there, like your text message application. When you get your phone, it's already there. Your phone application, your email application, it's all there running on a software, right?
Right.
So then there's other applications that you could download yourself. That's like when you set up a trust line, or you set up you add a new feature. That's how we could imagine as Corium as the underlying technology. And then basically these applications, like the text message, like Sologenic, will be baked inside of it. And that's how you basically use what you use. So that's how I'm imagining everything is. That's actually how Reza described it too. It's like Windows computer. Sologenic is Windows XL on the Windows software. So that's how we could imagine it. Let me send you an actually image of the whole Cosmos system.
Yeah, if you can email it to me, that'd probably be the best, so I could pull it up on the computer. You can email it to Cosmic
And then so
Origins.
on this software, what's unique about it is it will integrate all DLT. So everyone's complaint is, I got to download all these wallets. What the heck? Everyone always says that.
Yeah, that's kind of the one of the issues right now, is you have to kind of spread yourself out amongst different ecosystems rather than having like one harmonized one.
What's your email?
You can send it to cosmicorigins777@gmail.com. Yeah, so going back to the validator thing you were talking about, I was reading yesterday that if you, okay, so like you were saying, there's 16 like rotating validators, and these validators, for people that aren't familiar with like the concept of validators, these are the individuals or the nodes that are actually validating the transactions on the network. And so it's kind of comparable to Ripple's unique node list, or UNL as they call it, where there's a certain amount of validators. They work slightly differently. With the Corium one, it seems like it's rotated constantly. And so I was reading that if you hold just 10,000 Corium tokens, that you qualify to be a base level validator. And then they have what are called super validators, which seem to be like part of the governance mechanism, where the Corium user base you can apply to be a super validator once you have the 10,000 core. And then if the user base votes and accepts you, then you become one of these super validators. And you, I think there's 7 super validators, and then the rest are the normal validators, right? Something like that.
Yeah. So what's important to know about the validators, that's going to be really exciting, especially for community members. The validators basically bring consensus to the chain and do a lot of cool things. But before you run out and buy 10,000 Corium, 10K, that will make you a big whale. I think it'll put you top 500 in the world. But having 10K will not automatically make you an active validator. Really important to note, so people don't FOMO. If you want to be a validator, the best way, you have 10K Corium, but then think of ways to get a bunch of people to, how you're going to get stakers, how you're going to contribute to the basically network and bring growth, something that you as a unique individual can bring to the chain. So that way it's not an island. Some of the big political debates with Cosmos right now is validators are basically like you're being on an island and they're not helping anybody. They're only helping themselves, and people get annoyed. People stop staking to them. They lose voting power, and then they eventually get out of the active set, and there's no incentive for being a validator anymore. So this is some insights for the people that want to be a validator. You have to start thinking about ways that you're going to get people to stake to you. And if you can get a bunch of people to stake Corium, this is an awesome opportunity for you. Having 10K Corium also, it's like if you pack your bags now, 5 years from now, you might want to become a validator, and you need to have 10K to do it. So there's a small window of opportunity where you could actually be a validator on this chain. And I think it costs like 55,000 Juno to be a validator on Juno. That's times $2.50. That's a lot of money. So to be a validator on Cosmos costs a lot of money. Because it's so cheap, you have the opportunity to do it. Like I said, no guarantees. No one votes to you, you're not going to be active. But 5 years from now, you might have the influence to do that. So, having 10K Corium packed now would be great, for your future. Not financial advice, do your own research. But that's one of the superpowers that Corium will also give you. Validators vote on different proposals. They have different responsibilities. Having a tech background would be important. Because if you suck at technology and your validator gets slashed, everybody that's staking to you also gets punished. So something to consider. But yeah.
That's cool. That's Yeah, this is kind of a deeper part of ecosystem stuff that normally generically we don't get into, like the public when they're looking at these different systems, the validator part of it. And then obviously there's incentive payouts for being a validator at that point, right? Like you're getting an
Yeah. So
incentive.
for example, yeah, we're getting paid some of the fees. But for example, so my number one goal this whole year since I read this paper was to become a validator. So one of the ways that I'm going to incentivize people, let's say you guys have Corium, I'm going to be hosting yearly or, quarterly big events with either speakers or musicians, music festivals, and the people that stake to my validator will get snapshots of their wallets, and you'll get an NFT ticket to come to all the events. So
That's cool.
you could delegate to my validator and stake to me and basically get snapshot. Or if you have 10,000, you could come up with your own thing for the network and chain and be a validator. And basically another thing about validator is there's proposals, remember? So there'll be a vote happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's like proposal number 1, should we do XYZ? You're kind of like a political figure on the network, because everybody that is staking to you, basically you are representing them,
Mm-hmm.
unless they vote themselves.
It's like a democratic republic. You have a representative.
Exactly. So this is how tender mint is the new government. Government, tender mint. Tender mint, government. See how the words are exactly the same?
Yeah,
It's like Corium, Ethereum. Words mean things. We could talk about that. So tendermint, new government, new democratic republic, all, 20, 50 years from now, there might not be governments anymore. It might just be this whole new techno type thing. Who knows? But the moment you vote, when you vote with your Cosmos or your Corium, you override the validator. So imagine right now, it's like your congressperson, you don't like their stance, so you could still go vote your own vote.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to have a certain amount of people on the network vote, and a certain amount of percentage. We'll decide that as a community, like we need 60%, we need 70%, 80% to basically pass. So,
and you only need one to vote, right? One Corium, one vote. So even if you have one, you've got
Corium to participate. Yeah. So the more you have, the more influence you have on the network. So that's another cool thing why I chose to promote it, because I knew that it wasn't going to be talked about, especially giving an average Joe these type of superpowers. And that's why it's hidden. It's not talked about. And the more good people we could get buying these cheap prices, the more good people are going to have influence over this network. And if there's any, what we believe harmful proposals that come up, we could actually have a fighting chance at outvoting the people that use this. Because I'm telling you right now, I've been in all their talks. They're saying this system is being developed for institutions, big banks. That's why they have basically one of the use cases is CBDCs. You guys get that, right? Who's developing CBDCs? The big essential. There's not some guy developer out of his basement working on CBDCs, right?
Right. Exactly.
Central bankers are working on. There's only a certain group of people working on CBDCs, so they're working and creating a DeFi product for them.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy crap, this is big. No one's talking about it. If all these central bankers are the only people that own it, they have all the governance control, and that's bad. That's not good. So like, this is kind of like a philosophical thing for me. And, I think it's going to be interesting. They're going to be mad that we own all this stuff and we have these type of views, and it's going to be funny to see how it all plays out.
I really like that from an esoteric view too, because I feel very similarly about XRP in that we've been guided to, invest. So we have, we, like people like us, have a majority influence on the networks in whatever form. And, with XRP, I've always had this feeling like it's this inevitable technology, past, present, and future, that, just to get a little more esoteric on maybe like different parallel timelines, different people had control of the XRPL. And so I think, I feel like there's a reason that so many people have been guided to XRP spiritually and from like God, I've met so many people that say that they were guided to it from God in one form or another. And I feel like it's for a reason. And with core, I feel like what you're saying, it resonates with me too, that it's similar to that maybe we're being drawn to it for this specific reason to kind of, have our influence and our vote in there to make sure that it stays on the timeline that we're trying to create.
Well, it was gifted to us. So if you feel that way about XRP, you have to understand this is also a gift from that same source energy. Because like I started this whole video on a random rant. You started with XRP. Next thing you know, you're setting up a trust line for Solo. You got free Solo. Next thing you know, you set up your Corium trust line. You get Corium. And, slow and steady, people's bags are getting full. It's like a Christmas that keeps coming every month. And maybe you're only getting 10 core. Maybe you're getting 100 core each month. Maybe you're getting 1,000 core each month. But if we fast forward to, 2024, have long-term vision, like the bamboo story, if you ever heard about that, it takes 6 years to grow bamboo. And then once it comes out of the ground, just boom. Eventually that moment's going to happen for us. And that 10 core, what if it's $1,000 a core, and that 10 core that you thought was pennies was actually worth $10,000 a month that you were accumulating? And that's kind of the opportunity. Bob Ross has a post saying Corium will be the most valuable airdrop ever given to a community. And they chose the XRP community. That tells you something. They believe in us. They know we got diamond hands, because the thing about Corium is it's proof of stake. It's dependent on people with diamond hands, people that believe in the network, and people that stake. The more stakers, the more secure the network is. They need the right type of people to hold this.
Mm-hmm.
What else? One blockchain for all. So, kind of sounds like where we go one, we go all. One blockchain for all. Where we go one, we go all. Same flow. Interesting, right? They're following 17 people. It's being given to the people. It's all airdropped, 100% community-based blockchain. And they're giving the little guy a chance first before the institutions. Basically, the way the level playing field is, give the community first opportunity, and then basically the institutions will have to buy in next. Some people sell way too early because their mindset. Other people hold forever, and playing fields are going to get even. So where we go one, we go all. One blockchain for all. Seems to be a lot of similarities there. A lot of similarities. It's all part of the same equation. That's why it's the Holy Trinity.
Yeah. No, I love that, dude. That's great. So much opportunity here. Like you're saying, it's just, if you had started early with XRP when the solo airdrop was there, it just keeps rolling, keeps compounding, and the party just keeps going, and it's going to keep going.
When you look into Corium, it's going to give you a new perspective of the riddles too. So if you look at the bearable guy 123, we talk about this on this channel.
Yeah.
And it says the plans that XRP and Ripple have for the community, it gives people a chance to change their life forever, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you could I emailed you that post.
Oh, yeah, let me check.
But if you look closely, it's like, keep your eye on the prize, right? The border is green, and the owl's eye is literally, the owl's eyes in the freaking post are the Corium logo. I swear to gosh, dude.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then follow the green colors. What color is Corium? It's green. Green
right.
lead you to prosperity. It's like all of a sudden, these puzzle pieces will start connecting once you look at XRP Solo Core as 3 independent, really valuable assets that kind of all connect. It helps you decode better because it gives you a better map of what this new system is going to look like.
For sure.
Oh, remember about that post too? It says there will be few people in control. Right? In that post, Mr. Poole, simulation will continue. There's going to be a few people in control.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at this new system, there's only going to be 16 validators.
Yeah, which is very little. It is very little.
That are always rotating. So it's like there's only going to be a few people really controlling this system. It's going to be us.
So could we have 100 people who are eligible to be validators, but there's only 16 at a time rotating between those 100 people?
So, for example, this is why I say this, because the less validators, the more speed. So Cosmos is only 150 validators. So that are in the active set. So it's there's 466 people at 10,000 Corium. Not all of you guys are going to be able to be a validator because that's just not how the network's going to work. They'll clunk it down. So it's going to go, basically there'll be public validators that are always rotating. So like the 16 are always going to be changing, and they'll be grabbing people from the public pool, and they'll becoming validators. But it's all going to be based on the best chance to be getting rewarded is to have tons of voting power. So the more people that are staking to the Zen Lounge validator, tons of people are staking, the voting power will go up, which will make me in the active set more often. If nobody stakes to me, I don't have that many tokens, I'm going to fall lower and lower on the priority list, and it'll become less and less incentive, like less and less important for me to do it. I'm not an expert. I'm trying to put the puzzle pieces together, and I'm sharing information as I go. If you guys really want to get into it, I would check out the resources Tendermint has. This is my first time ever trying to attempt to be a validator. So, I'm not the best person to talk about this type of stuff.
Hey, but you're doing it, man. Like this is the path, and you're on it way before anyone else is even talking about it publicly. So that's awesome. And I'm assuming 2023 is when that would really kick off. And like, you probably can't be a validator, I'm assuming, until the network's live in January.
Yeah. So that's when we're really going to be gearing up.
Yeah.
So that's when you got to apply to do it. So go to the website, corium.com, apply. But yeah, if you want to check out that picture I have.
Yeah, send it again, because I didn't get it. I'm not seeing it in my email. Do Cosmic Origins, but the O isn't actually an O instead of a 0, like on my Telegram. Cosmic Origins 777 at gmail.com. I checked my spam too. I didn't see it in there. I want to give an opportunity for anybody that's anyone else here on the call, on the coaching call, to ask Zach any questions that you guys may have on anything that we've been talking about or anything else. Yeah, Joel, go ahead.
I just want to know when the Vegas party is.
Good question.
Oh yeah, guys. So if you're new to Solo information, we're in the process of building like a XRP army, and so we're building a Solo nation, a bunch of people, and we're having the first meetup event in Las Vegas. That's going to happen October 2nd. We're trying. It's not set in stone, but basically it'll be a free event for you guys to come, and it's going to be awesome in Las Vegas. That's going to be October 2nd.
October 2nd. Awesome.
Sunday?
Yeah, it's on a Sunday. Well, it's not 100% yet. We're still working on confirming the dates.
And that's the Solo Nation one. Are you combining your Zen Lounge event with that, or are you going to have a separate one? Because I know you were thinking about that around that time period too. It's kind of synchronistic how it worked out, how they're just like, yeah, we're going to have an event in Vegas same time.
So I'll say this to your members. I'm sure you guys talk about like law of attraction, things like that. So, I mean, when you guys are setting up your portfolios, shoot for the moon and set big goals, because your mind's going to act like a magnet for the goals that you guys set. So, cryptocurrency, a lot of people come into the space thinking small, like you could change your life. I'm sure Jayse has shared with you multiple different coins. You only need one of them to moonshot. Your life will never be the same after that one moonshot. So, set big goals. Your mind will act as a magnet. And if you stay committed, especially during the bear market, like this is the time you want to be hyper focused, because this is the rare opportunities where you actually set yourself up for extreme wealth. And, you could actually afford the nice watch, the dream car, and help humanity and do everything that you want to do. So I set a whole goal. I wanted to throw a Vegas event, and I wanted to do a really special thing for the Zen Lounge members only. But then it's like I had that big goal and I had all these visualizations about it. A Sologenic team talked about hosting an event, and I was like, hey, I'm in Vegas. I could help you. And then I've been talking with Mauricio ever since. And actually, for the time being, now I'm just hosting the Solo Nation, helping host the Solo Nation event. But there will be a big Zen Lounge event soon, independently. So Zen Lounge, we're our own vibe. We're our own tribe. We do, we like to talk about crazy things. So we got to do our own meetup, So probably end of year, we'll have a Zen Lounge meetup. And then October, we'll have a Solo Nation party and keep building this community. Because think about it, we're early investors in the future technology that's going to, control the banking system. So we got to stay connected. Your net worth will be your network. Your network is your net worth. And if we have the opportunity to know a bunch of Corium governors, a bunch of XRP bankers and Sologenic holders, like I want to get to know you guys. I want to shake your hands and build up a network that's, the biggest net worth ever.
I love it. Love it. Okay, I got the picture. I'm going to share it. Here we go. Do you want to explain exactly what we're looking at here?
So this is the visual. So Corium is green, the core, and core is built off of Tendermint. So look in the middle. You can see the Tendermint green.
Now, real quick, did I hear right that Tendermint is rebranding to Ignite, or is that something else?
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. So many decodes. We could do a whole decode episode together. So look at the 1988 economic cover. After looking up this logo, look at the Cosmos logo at the bottom.
Yeah, it's that circle. Yeah, it's exact. And people always think it's stellar, but it's not stellar. It's actually Cosmos.
Yeah. Well, stellar and Cosmos, I think, come together. Because think about stellar, how they have the two lines, and then think about how Cosmos will run that straight line through the Cosmos goes perfectly through the stellar logo. The stellar will be where do stars shine? Stellar lumens, they shine in the cosmos. So stellar is going to help settle all these transactions in this cosmos economy. You can see Cosmos Hub at the center, right? That's the Atoms token that's staking. And then you see Ethereum bridged over, Bitcoin bridged over. And you see this whole harmonious system that works. And then you see how they're all connected. Well, Cosmos Hub will be the thing providing security to all of the different chains, and the chains that least security will pay the stakers of Cosmos Hub. Corium is not there yet in this picture because this is the old picture, but Corium is marketed as green. You see Tendermint consensus at the bottom is green.
Yep.
If you want to type in on your browser, mapofzones.com.
Mapofzones.com. And quick question about this real quick. When, like the Bitcoin and Ethereum bridging, is that into the IBC? Like, can pre-existing already built blockchains be integrated into IBC? Or does it have to be something that new blockchains are built with when they're being built? You know what I mean?
I try my best to sound like I know what I'm talking about with all this tech stuff, but this technology stuff is some real tech wizard stuff. So the coolest thing about Cosmos is it's all open source, and there's amazing workshops where basically they educate you on how they're going to get these proof of work chains over to Cosmos to save energy. So there's something called Ethermint, and there's also something called, so scroll up a little bit. Why is it looking like that?
I don't know. It did this the other day for me too. And then all of a sudden it just kind of did it normal. Maybe I have to click one of them or something.
There's also something Evmos, which is bringing the EVM to Cosmos, but they have some state-of-the-art system to bring proof of work to this proof of stake module. And you've heard the big elite, Chris Larson bring that up, and many other big people bring it up. This is called the map of zones. So we saw that picture, but this is more updated of like all the chains that are connected. See Cosmos Hub in the middle? And you see all these different lines. That's how they're all interconnected, and they're all interoperable. And you can see big things. You could see crypto.com. You could see Comdex. You could see Juno, Osmosis, Umi.
Oh, dude, crypto.com. I didn't even notice that. So that makes me think, and the fact that the other image showed Bitcoin and Ethereum, that does make me think that they could bring over pre-existing blockchains and make them IBC compatible, which would be optimal.
Yes. So remember, they're planning on bringing over Ripple, planning on bringing over Bitcoin, Ethereum. They're planning on bringing over Solana.
That's going to be a game changer. That really is going to make it the internet of blockchains. Because I was thinking, at one point that it was only for chains that were, you know, like Juno and Osmosis that were built kind of with the intention of them being IBC. But if we're able to bring in all these other huge chains, then that's going to be huge for the internet of blockchains.
Well, that's what led me to think, because I read the Liquidity Hub paper, and the Liquidity Hub says they need three things. They need on-demand liquidity, XRP. They need tokenized assets, Solo, and they need smart contracts, Corium. And, you know, in the Liquidity Hub, they talk about having Bitcoin and Ethereum part of that whole system. And, you know, we've always said we've never been fans of those. I think they're still go through an entire storm, but I think some of these are too big to fail, and they have solutions to save these projects after the storm they go through. And ironically, going back to the more esoteric things, this made me think, okay, you know, we see this big battle happening, XRP versus Ethereum and the SEC, all this conflict happening in blockchain. Like, what would bring harmony to blockchain? What would end tribalism? What would end all that and bring peace? And I looked up, I was like, some people say we're in World War III right now, right? World War II was ended because of the atomic bomb. So the atom bomb dropped, and then World War II immediately ended. It was like, peace. Everybody stopped fighting. And they say there's going to be an atomic explosion in the cosmos that happens. And I think, you know, once XRP Ledger is integrated into Corium or Cosmos, and Bitcoin, Ethereum's all integrated, everything is like this harmonious Cosmos system. It's like, where are people going to fight, argue, and everyone's going to be like in a harmonious system. People are going to be feeling like they're heard. That's a big thing right now. A lot of people don't feel heard. Now all of a sudden we get an opportunity to be heard and let our voice be heard on these chains. It's just gonna, this is like what I think is a solution to bring, you know, a more balanced earth. Through my research, you could see at the heart of it is Tendermint. And Tendermint, look up the logo to Tendermint real quick. It's actually the Holy Trinity logo. So don't just come up with these little things like the Holy Trinity.
Isn't it the Celtic knot or whatever? What do they call that?
Tendermint is also, you know, green, another word for heart. So it's like, you know, this is a tender system, and it's, you know, the Tendermint logo is the Holy Trinity logo. Tendermint is the core of it, and it's green. Follow the green colors, lead to prosperity, and this is a really powerful logo that's been used in, you know, spirituality for a long time.
Yep.
It's another reason why I believe it's going to bring peace and harmony to this earth and solve a lot of problems.
I agree. I think that's a good sign. What would you, if, you know, if we're saying kind of loosely the green correlates to Pool's green, what do you think most likely the blue avalanche is referring to? Do you think that's Cosmos and the blue of Cosmos, or, and what would avalanche mean necessarily? Like, maybe that's the opposite. Maybe that's a down instead of an up.
Well, somebody did a decode and showed that avalanche, the blue was connected to Terra Luna. Terra logo was blue logo, like a world.
Interesting. So it's like Terra fell.
And then what happened was when Terra fell, what happened immediately after that? A bunch of Luna's reserves were in avalanche. So then avalanche fell with it. So what Luna did was to keep peg, they had reserves of assets, Bitcoin and Avalanche. They had to liquidate their Bitcoin, and they had to liquidate a lot of their Avalanche during that crash. And that crash with Terra Luna, I believe, was a giant test run, because yes, the Ponzi tokenomics were exposed for Luna, a top 10 project. It dropped all the way to the floor. But what was exposed, Tendermint, through one of the largest attacks ever, was still producing blocks and still did its job. So it's like, it was a test run to prove Tendermint's battle test Tendermint, and it was a sacrifice to the lunar blood moon.
Right. So even though the tokenomics and the sacrifice aspect of Luna was there, but Tendermint actually did its job correctly.
So you see this blue logo, you know, it led you to Avalanche. The Avalanche reserves also collapsed with it. And then if you look deeper, it led you to the green color of Tendermint. you know, which would lead you to Corium. This is all just crazy decode shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, hypothetically, these riddles have so many meanings, and there could be something new coming up that's blue, and that's why I trust the green colors, man. I think the Corium is where we're supposed to be, and XRP and Solo. That's where I want to be.
Love it. Okay,
you see all the NFTs. One more thing about NFTs. So
yeah,
NFTs are not going away. So everybody's making fun of NFTs. Cristiano Ronaldo just signed an NFT deal with Binance.
I saw that. Yeah.
You're talking about this guy's like the most influential guy around. And then you also got The Weeknd. The Weeknd is doing an NFT concert tour. So
of course,
that's all Sologenic marketplace and stuff.
Do you know what blockchain The Weeknd is doing his on?
No, but it's connected to Binance. So Binance is connected
BNB,
to
smart chain,
the Cosmos SDK, and
yeah,
hopefully they like the Sologenic.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really promising. Okay, last thing before we head out of here. I think I remember you saying and sharing that the founder of Cosmos, he's pretty like anti, you know, I don't want to say the trigger words as far as being on YouTube, but like anti dark powers that were, right? Like he's pretty outspoken about like changing the planet for the better.
Follow Jay Kwan. He's actually in my Discord too, but follow Jay Kwan on Twitter. He was originally, if you guys use the app Yelp, he worked on the Yelp app. He was like the lead guy, developed Yelp, went on to develop Tendermint, which then led him to develop Cosmos. He did get some partners, but kind of like Steve Jobs, this guy is not a mad genius, he's a genius and thinks like us, conspiracy mindset. That's why he was able to develop the BFT fault tolerant security with Tendermint, because he's paranoid. You know what I'm saying? Well, he actually took it from research back in the 90s, but Jay Kwan developed Cosmos, Tendermint, and basically first person, he was talking about multi-chain and these bridges before any of these teams that are trying to do it even existed. Proof of stake, that's Jay Kwan. Multi-chain, that's Jay Kwan. You hear that's the new buzzword now. Everybody's trying to do multi-chain. Jay Kwan was doing it before these teams existed, coming up with this whole plan way back. I think like in 2013 he started. So
that's
he's
awesome.
Developed this whole project, but then because he's so eccentric, he gets kicked off Cosmos. And there's been this battle over Cosmos Hub, like the Republic versus the Empire for some time. And he kind of just came back to sway the whole vote for the Cosmos Hub stuff.
Nice.
But he's also developing a new project that you guys should keep your eye on. Q3, No Lands, GNOT is coming out, and it's all about battling. It's like the whole slogan of it is called Gnomes Against the Gnomes of the Resistance is the whole slogan. Gnomes of the Resistance, and it's called No World Order, GNO World Order. And he's posting like the most red pill stuff. He actually did post that some people try to trap him in North Korea. He posted like a lot of crazy red pill stuff. I don't want to say it.
Yeah.
LEAKS leaks.
Yeah.
He posts all types of, red pill stuff. He's on the same wave as us.
That's awesome.
He doesn't have many followers on Twitter, so you message him, he'll reply sometimes. And he invented this whole system so that he felt his voice wasn't being heard just like us. That's why he added the governance protocol. He wanted to become sovereign. That's why he allowed people to have the tools. He created the whole system to basically allow anybody in the world to go and create their own sovereign chains. Yes, there's going to be these big bankers that create their chains. But at the same time, it's all open source. The same tools that they're using for free, me, Jayse, all of us here could create our own blockchain. And we could do it if we have developers. And that's the beauty that Jay Kwan, he's not talked about now. He's actually, when people talk about Cosmos, they leave his name out. That's how bad it's gotten. Like they try to alienate him and try to label him as crazy, and they label him every name under the sun, but he's a genius, Jay Kwan, behind all this. He has a few videos on YouTube. Watch his videos. You'll learn so much in like 10-minute clip. The guy's a genius. So that's Jaquan.
Nice. Good stuff. Not to be confused with, what is it, Do Kwon that ran Terra? Right. Similar sounding.
That's what I was saying. I was like, dude, they chose a guy, Do Kwon, just to cover up Jaquan.
Yeah, I mean, their names are so similar. It's hard not to confuse them.
Well, Jayse, thank you so much for having me. If I bored anybody with this talk, I'm sorry. We went technical. If you guys want to do another, like, you want to come on my channel and talk about decodes and more fun topics, but
I'd love to.
I knew you're doing a coaching call, so I want to make sure to give people like a education, you know?
Yeah, I love it, man. Yeah. And good timing, because I got to jump off right now, getting on another call anyway, but love making videos with you, and I'd love to come on your channel sometime soon.
Well, thank you guys for listening to me. Have an awesome day, guys.
Cool. Peace out, everyone. Have a great day. Later, guys. I'm going to take off now. Hope you found that valuable.